right, here's last year's rookie. Let's get the car out of the way. Look, rookie wide receivers up all the way to Johnny Wilson. Here's how they were drafted. Of course, Harrison was first, Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, Brian Thomas Jr., Worthy. You see some of the people drafted in the first wide receivers taken last year in the draft. Here is their finish. You can see Brian Thomas Jr. did the best, coming out of the 4 slot. Malik Neighbors second, and Ladd McConkey here. And let's not slight McMillan over here, who did pretty good right down here for Tampa there. So here is the average per game. So you can see you can get some pretty powerful players out of these rookie wide receivers. You got to take one every year. All right, here's their fantasy finish. Of course, Brian Thomas Jr., this is standard. Ladd McConkey here. And here was their preseason rank. So you can see you got Neighbors here at 24th wide receiver, finished, 4th or 6th. And here's Brian Thomas Jr. here. And Ladd McConkey. You can get some bargains here. And Worthy was 39th preseason ranked last year. A matter of fact, I was pushing Neighbors last year. Didn't get him. You know, you don't pick favorites, like I said in my drafting. I ended up with Brian Thomas Jr., though. That worked out pretty good. Here, let's bring out the surprises last year. Of course, Ladd McConkey, Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, and, of course, McMillan over here at 53. You know, he was one of them, too. So, and here was the consensus rank for this year. You can see they're a little higher on Neighbors than Brian Thomas Jr. and some of the other Ladd McConkey, of course. But all right, so here was the round. Well, yeah, here was the round they were drafted, and what you can see is declining because I got them in ranked the order they were ranked. So here is that average per game, though. We see we get some bargains here, right? So we're going to be looking at this year's and see if we can find something good. All right, so we don't want any of those sophomore slumps. We're going to be taking a rookie this year instead, right? We take these rookies instead of them sophomores. Let's bring out the rookie class. Ted McMillan, Ibuka here, Matthew Golden, Jaden Higgins. Luther Burton was the 5th wide receiver rookie, taking Trey Harris. Kind of struggled a little bit so far. Best year for the Vegas was the first of 2. Kyle Williams, Tesla here. For Detroit took one. Pat Bryant might make some noise there in Denver, huh? We got, and then we had 11th was Noel. Hey, that Noel looks pretty good here, too. Savion Williams, he's been injured, not doing so good here. Felton might get called upon with all the Minnesota injuries. DK here for Tennessee. Looks like Thornton Jr. Some of these two here are Thornton Jr., Arian Smith here, Jalen Lane here for Washington, and Royals might get called upon. I mean, hey, some of these rookies might be making some noise. This Iamwenor down way down here. And let's get rid of the car for a little bit more room for these guys. Bring out just the last few. I mean, hey, we're not going to really focus Jordan, although Jordan Watkins, Lampert's been making some noise here. This Wester here. So, all right, there's their rookie class. Which one's it going to be, right? We saw that it's probably going to be in the top 10, and you're supposed to get 1,000-yarder out of one of them. Well, last year we got 3, so hey, but hey, we're going to rank them and see who we like this year, right? Let's get started. All right, let's get started. I want to bring out this year's. We don't want any of those last year's sophomore slumps. We're taking a rookie this year, and who are we going to get? All right, first up, I have Ibuka for Tampa, right? It just seems that he's been looking good so far, too. Hey, everything is promised, right? So we go to the news there with Tampa, and you see Baker said, hey, he's the real deal, can plug and play at all 3 wide receivers. Buka Godwin's been a real godsend, teaching him technique, blocking right in his ear. And McMillan now to miss regular season time, right? It just seems like opportunities here going. They've got him ranked up to 34th. They're jumping him up. They see it too. The consensus rankings. These are the consensus rankings, not my rankings. I'd have him higher. So Of course, we see that here that McMillan's hurt. We go Evans. Last year you missed games. You can a couple years. Hey, you always get that 1,000 somehow, but he misses some games from time to time. I have Ibuka number 2. Now McMillan's off the radar here for possibly up to week 8. McMillan placed on injury, could be out past week 9. So I should update him out of there. I've already got Godwin out of there because we're not getting him now for a while too. So it's like he's Buka here. He just has every opportunity to be that rookie, and everything sounds good. He's looked great, so he's by far my number 1. I have Matthew Golden number 2, and opportunity knocks for him too. Right here in Green Bay, these both have great landing spots, top offenses. What a place to go to, Green Bay. Green Bay had the number 5 offense, 12th passing, but hey, Jordan Love, 9th, schedule. We're looking for a rebound there. Of course, now the news, of course, is everybody's banged up. Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks, Watson already sidelined. Admitted Jaden Reed could potentially miss week 1 after he was spotted limping. So wow, these top 2 here with Ibuka and Golden, they just have every opportunity with these injuries just to show up here. I have a Golden ranked number 1 or 2 here. He should probably be the number 1 on the team at this point. All right. Hey, got him up to 36. So we got the rankings here, 36th, and they have Ibuka moved up to 34th. So, hey, we'll see where we can get them. But, hey, that's the top 2 I like. All right, this season, keep an eye out for my Waiver Wire Tuesday show, right? Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. I'll be doing waiver wires each Tuesday, all right? Very good chances for them. How about Ted McMillan, all right? Comes in here, Carolina. He wasn't, Travis Hunter was the number 1, I guess. Ted McMillan was the number 2 pick here at wide receiver. Carolina, they've got him ranked higher than all of them. Both of those top 2, no. I'd take him 3rd. Of course, Bryce Young, we're relying on him coming back and playing good. He has the 5th schedule here. That looks good. And McMillan has the 11th for wide receiver 8, And there's not a lot going on here at competition for him. Thielen, Leggett here. Carolina, Ted McMillan has every opportunity to deliver for them. And 3rd chance. It's really just what's the chance, then bring up Higgins next. I got him 4th. He falls into a pretty good spot too. All right. Goes to Houston. Was the first of 2 of their picks they took there. Should immediately start at outside receiver opposite Nico Collins in 2 wide receiver sets. GM said, hey, you get a receiver that stature and catch radius just opens up a lot of things for us offensively. All right, so they're in Houston. They did take 2. This Jalen Noel was the one. Now, Christian Kirk is going to play out of the slot, and there's been some positive news on him. That was a standout at joint practices. So fortunate for Higgins, he doesn't play the slot so much. He's going to be the outside receiver for them. And Christian Kirk's going to play that slot, so that puts a little damper on Noel here. But, hey, we're looking for C.J. Stroud with that number 2 schedule to rebound. And Nico Collins, hey, he's going to be the strong number 1 there, right? Well, Nico missed a few games last year. And if something like that were to happen, who's the outside receiver here? Higgins, not Christian Kirk. Christian's going to play the slot. Got to get some action. But, hey, with the running game banged up here, right? With Mixon, who knows? Chubb, not looking great. Woody Marks here is probably going to be getting some time there. And, of course, they got Huawei. And Stroud here. So, great defense. This is going to be a top team. So, Jaden Higgins here just has every opportunity to possibly get in there and be the guy that does it. Just about opportunity. Next up, I got 5 and 6 here. I've got Travis Hunter. was the number one pick overall, right? He's been in there for Jacksonville. 32 team schedule. Not the best there. So falling places for him isn't so good. You got a wide receiver that finished number 4 last year in Brian Thomas Jr. Right? He's going to be the number 2. We got him penciled in there ahead of Parker Washington, who's looked good, and Diami Brown here. But so Travis Hunter, the problem I have with him, of course, is he's going to play both ways. Right? Hunter has played 173 snaps this is in training camp on offense and on 11 on 11 and 168 on defense, splitting his time. You know, my theory is, of course, well, not only is he behind Brian Thomas Jr., but what if he has to play a whole bunch of safety, or I'm sorry, cornerback? If they get some injuries, 2 or 3 injuries there, he's going to spend his time doing cornerback work and not so much receiving. How about this is the surprise here so far, Deontay Thornton Jr., right? He was the second wide receiver taken by Vegas, right? Shining there in practice. Oops. Raiders. I got to get to the Raiders. How about Deontay Thornton Jr.? I have him second behind Jacoby Myers. What's promising, he's got that new Geno Smith as the quarterback. Hey, while people are focusing it on the rookie Genty here, right? Trey Tucker going to be challenged. I think they're going to share the outside spot early on there for there. But Deontay Thornton, hey, 6'5", ran a 4.3. Great numbers. Pushing hard to be the number 2 wide receiver there, right? And first team reps, he's been getting there, kind of sharing with Trey Tucker a little bit on the outside. But hey, Trey Tucker hasn't never really, came on so much, you know. So that was Trey Tucker last year. But all right, well, I kind of like this Thornton Jr. Now, well, we'll talk about Beck here in a minute. Besh, I guess it is. I've heard some of the local announcers. Hey, that's just great. And I am Manor here. They were pronouncing that funny. I thought I am in Manor. I think that's how they were saying. But I like him, right? Alik Ayamanor for Tennessee. Hey, he opportunity knocks there, right? That's what it's all about. You know, Calvin Ridley's going to tie down that number 5 or number 1 receiver spot for the rookie Cam Ward coming in her 6th schedule. We like that. Calvin Ridley, yes, at number 1, but number 2 Van Jefferson. They're already talking like this Imanor appears to be working his way into a starting role at Jefferson's expense. Yes. I mean, come on. We've seen Jefferson his career probably start, and Callahan earlier has already said that he might be starting at the X wide receiver, has the flexibility to play different spots. Wow. Been looking good in camp. We've seen some of the highlights there with him. Boy, I really like him at 6. He's the one that can probably pick, or at 7 here, the Imanor. So let's go to my 8 and 9. Hey, you know, we had Ladd McConkey come out of this area last year. So, hey, it's not a stretch. And talk about opportunity. Jordan Watkins here for San Francisco. We look at their roster here. Hey, well, Pearsall. Jennings has had a holdout problem, some injury problems. Pearshall's finally in there and looking better, you know, but I don't like taking sophomores, although he didn't really have a freshman year, did he? Pearsall continues to stand out, strong showing, you know, hey, so he is there. And hey, I got Watkins here 4th, but hey, you know, Demarcus Robinson, and Jennings. So opportunity knocks with number 14 passing. So that's why I got him ranked up there. He could be quite a surprise there. And how about here in Minnesota? This Felton, right? Felton here. Woo-wee. Kind of opening up for him too. I mean, obviously Justin Jefferson, and he's back, supposedly healthy, practicing now with that hamstring, so he's not the worry. Of course, Addison here is going to miss a few games, and this is number 6 team in passing. Yeah, there's a rookie quarterback, but you know, I really like the head coach here, Kevin O'Connell. You can see that win percentage. Just has him as one of the top offenses. Very good offensive mind there. So this Felton, you know, hey, right now he's 4th, but Naylor's out now. And Naylor got hurt week to week. did not rules out surgery. So if Naylor misses some time there and Addison's going to be out, well, this Felton might get some action. Now, he hasn't been as polished as the others in preseason, in training camp and stuff so far at the reports. So hey, but opportunity there, you got to put that there. Number 9 and or 10 and 11 here, I've got Pat Bryant for Denver, which is a good team there, right? So we like the team here. Now, opportunity there. Well, supposedly Marvin Mims is the guy, right? Both Bryant and Franklin are among the receivers competing for playing time behind Sutton and Marvin Mims. So, and Bryant secured 5 targets for 70 yards in that preseason win. Played at Illinois. So, Pat Bryant, hey, it's all about opportunity. And here in Denver, it's a good team. You see if Bo Nix continues to go. But Marvin Mims, now he's locked in apparently as the number 2 according to the reports. Well, I did that finish strong there. Look at that finish there last year. But and Valles looked all right. But Pat Bryant opportunity, hey, you just never know. Luther Burton was a high pick, right? So he was one of the higher ones, but he's there with the Bears. Had some injury problems. Now he's getting off to a slow start. You see, they got him ranked 55. All right. Well, part of that is OZ here, Zacchaeus. All right. He's been looking pretty good in preseason. So that might put a little damper on Luther Burton. Not only the injuries, but OZ here has started ahead of him, and also in training camps, the preseason even, has looked well, doing well. And I was really impressed with what he saw. Yeah, the little coach speak there. So yeah, Burton has talent thing, but he gets pushed down because, well, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, OZ coming on here, and you have the tight ends. Loveland, hey, he's ranked 10th. He's going to get some action. He was rookie. They're going to like him. And Cole Kmet, right? Cole Kmet last year did some noise. So, hey, there's a lot of mouths to feed in the Bears. So Luther Burton gets pushed all the way down there to 11th, right? And then up next we have Lambert and Smith. Lambert was making some noise, pushes Trey Harris down if nothing else. His opportunity. I got Trey Harris way down here at 19th, right? Trey Harris was pretty good draft capital here. You can see he was the 55th pick overall. Has been slow to emerge, and for both of these, the story is they bring in Keenan Allen added. Why did they just add Keenan Allen to an $8 million contract? Well, hey, to get better is the answer. But, hey, we like him, so Keenan Allen all of a sudden just shoves those 2 guys down to 3 and 4, and I'd almost have this Lambert, which I do, ahead of Trey Harris because the reports on Trey Harris haven't been so good, right? Been slow to emerge despite his second round, and that might have been the trigger. His kind of poor for, I don't want to say poor, but hasn't been really flashing. So they bring in Keenan Allen, right? So Lambert might make some noise there. He'd been making a little bit better than Trey Harris in. So let's go back to 13 and 14 here. I had Arian Smith for the Jets, right? Well, it was a 4th rounder, you can see, but reports there are, hey, one of the beat reporters there, Smith, is only receiver at this point making plays consistently worthy of being that number 2 wide receiver, right? So the Jets' depth here, you got Josh Reynolds. Lazard's been hurt. I think he's hurt. So, there's not much else to go now. How much passing is there going to be going on there? I'm not sure. Justin Fields going, hey, look at Justin Fields. My mind is going to look for Garrett Wilson. Oh, Garrett Wilson's not open. Let's run. I don't know that he'll have time to get to that number 2 possible. But Arian Smith here, hey, got a chance here. Up next is this Royals, right, for Kansas City. Royals going into Kansas City. I got him ranked 14th. And you see way down here, these guys didn't really fire last year, although for the Tampa you had McMillan there, but so Royals, hey, opportunity there too. We got some problem. Marquise Brown's always hurt. Rashee Rice, legal troubles. This Worthy's little, I mean, yeah, he's been flashing pretty good. Has been receiving some first team reps, right? Jalen Royals. Numerous injuries. Okay, but we'll see how he fires. Next up, I got 15 and 16 here. Now, these guys had higher draft capital than the guys above them, but hey, it's about opportunity, right? This Jack Besh comes in. I was Senior Bowl MVP. Been looking pretty good. I mean, but hey, Thornton's been looking. Dante Thornton Jr.'s been looking better up here at 6. So, and hey, just how much rooms there going to be. You know, I got him 4th. Geno Smith here, but hey, Geno Smith's got the 30th hardest schedule. These guys have a 20th schedule here at the wide receiver. So Besh gets pushed down here. Nolan. Now, he's one of the more talented of the wide receivers. There's more talent than some of the guys above him, but not just the opportunity here. Right? So if I wouldn't have had such a good report on this Christian Kirk standing out, you know, I was ready to put Noel in there at the slot, but reports are that Christian Kirk's looked pretty good there. So just Jalen Noel gets bumped down. Higgins, like we said, might fill in at the outside receiver spot. And Nico, now they're going to have to pass in Houston because, hey, the running game isn't there. And the defense is going to be getting them the ball back, you know. So down here I got Tesler and DK. Next 17 and 18, we're getting deep here. I'll just go through them quickly so we know where, hey, this one in Detroit, hey, that's a good team. You know, you can't fault the team there for this Tesla, but hey, you know, there's just so much going on there. Brown, Williams, and Patrick ahead of them, and then the 2 wide receivers and a good tight end. Just, hey, opportunity. You know, so I think that they even said that Patrick, wide receiver 3, but Meeks, there's another guy. This Meeks is kind of coming on, creeping in to get some red zone targets. But anyway, he's not as high. So DK, he was a little higher pick than Iamanor, but hey, you know, Iamanor has been doing a little bit better. Trey Harris, now this is a sinker. Trey Harris, right? So he was, you can see here was the 55th one taken all the slow to emerge. Oh, we kind of talked about him. That's why they picked it. Okay. Brought in Keenan Allen there. So how about this? Not likely to see much playing time in the offense, especially if McLaren reaches some sort of deal. But if he doesn't, if McLaren holds out the year, they got Debo, they got Noah Brown, but this Jalen Lane might get in there because of opportunity, right? So, 4th round pick. Everybody in the building wanted to draft him. He was our number 1 returner in the draft. Well, he's going to be doing some turning. But, hey, like this, same with this Wester. I think that's what they said here for him. That he was going to be getting some, on game day, he's going to be up, right? As a returner. So, hey, that gives you a chance. And that's the same with this Lane, too. If you're up doing returning, you know, you got a chance to be on the field. If you're not on the team every week and you're sitting on the practice squad, well, you ain't got a chance. All right? And so we have Kyle Williams here. Hasn't been flashing. They got him ranked 60th, I guess. That's just because, hey, talk about opportunity. Other than Diggs, who do you have? I mean, Demario Douglas and Hollins. So Kyle Williams, I have 4th on the team, and just not a very good passing team, so we don't know. So, and this Williams has been hurt. I mean, boy, he's missing his opportunity. I mean, with all the injuries there, this Williams would have had a chance. You know, he big-bodied receiver there, but just too many injuries for him out of the gate. I mean, it's one of everything. There's multiple lists. And, of course, I have Horton and Mellett down here. These are special teamers. I think down here, this guy may not already be off the team. Not much of an impact, but recovered a fumble. Oh, he's recovered a fumble. Not much impact. Mumfield here for the Rams has caught 4 out of 9 Ryder there has him 8th, and they're only keeping 6th. So he's 8th on the team, not looking good for him. Ricky White down here was a pick. Has probably no path to make the roster, a local writer says. And I think this Prather for Buffalo was waived already with an injury deal. So, all right. Well, you make sure you get one of these rookies. I'm pushing these two. All right. Ibuka and Matthew Golden. Well, they got him ranked up to 34th now, and that's just because of all the injuries. But that's still a bargain. We saw what Brian Robinson Jr. and Neighbors did last year out of those higher rankings, I think. And, of course, I like this Matthew Golden. So you get a hold of one of these. You let them come to you. You don't want to reach, but you try to get one of these rookies. And then if you don't get one of these top two, well, you take the next two. That's what happened to me last year with Brian Thomas Jr. I tried to get Neighbors, but hey, things don't fall right. You don't get them, right? All right, that's my rookie wide receivers. Let's see if you can get a good one.